Thanks for staying with us. Right now there are people, mothers and fathers, pressed against a public safety building, many strangers using body heat to keep warm.
Among the people struggling to survive, Cliff, an elderly man who slept in a doorway. I didn't meet him while working on a story. However, once we started talking, I knew his story needed to be told. He represents so many who have no place to call home.
The hardest part about being home, when you ain't got nobody to turn to.
Cliff, what's back here? The same hands once used to build homes in Rockford now carry a cardboard box.
Do you change up where you hide it?
Yep.
A makeshift shelter for 69-year-old Cliff Morris, whose Court Street address belongs to an attorney who likely doesn't know he exists.
I'm tired of living like this.
Cliff has lived on the streets for the last 3.5 years. He says not a lot of people know that, considering no one takes the time to talk to him.
You're a human being too, just like anybody else.
We first met Cliff in June while handing out sandwiches to the homeless downtown. After seeing his frail body pressed against the concrete, we contacted the city and set up an appointment for permanent housing.
It'll probably be next week.
Everything we've asked, he has done it. Hello, is anybody home?
Angie Walker's job
Hello?
is to get people like Cliff off the street.
I take my bag out like this, you know.
She's working with 180 right now. We followed her down to Tent City. Just a few people remain under this bridge after Jerry Johnson says he found his best friend Ray beaten to death in this tent.
Do you think it's difficult sleeping in the same tent where you found him lying dead?
No, not really.
It took 2 months of sleepless nights before Cliff got this letter.
I hope and pray I got a place of my own.
That place, which he'll pay for on his own, came weeks later. Keys becoming the first sign of hope he could physically hold on to.
These are keys to your apartment.
No. These are keys to my apartment.
Cliff's sole possessions can fit into grocery bags.
Another one that looks like it.
So he called on the community for help, taking donations 1 truckload at a time, making this small studio feel like home.
How are you feeling?
I feel good.
It's your last night on the street.
This is my last night on the street.
So this is the moment. Cliff right now is signing the lease for his first apartment in 3.5 years. What he doesn't know is that he's walking into a space that's already furnished.
I can sleep. Hey. Oh, man. What? Oh, man. Lord have mercy. I don't believe it. Oh, man.
It's a smile that comes after years of struggling to survive.
All for you.
But I'm at home now.
This is it.
This is it.
Knowing for the first time a roof will replace the stars. The first time he has a place
And I'm at home.
to call home. Now, before he signed the lease, he was worried about getting toilet paper. Our community is amazing. People donated a bed, towels, canned goods, their time. You see the same group moving him in, the same group who found him in that infamous doorway. Living on the streets, though, is very rough. Some days his blankets were stolen and we would find him just sitting there reflecting, wondering what to do. And we want to give a special thank you to Zion Development, making sure that he got off the streets as soon as possible. And again, Cliff will be paying for this apartment on his own with Social Security. He just needed that little push just to get in the right direction, and I always say that we have the best job in the world because we have the ability to connect the dots for people and just kind of point them in the right direction no matter what it is.
What an uplifting story. You did such a great job telling it for so long, and it's just great to see again the community. I mean, what a winning community Rockford is.
It was just amazing to see how people stepped up.
So why this homeless problem? Why are so many people homeless?
The issue isn't so much about funding. It's the landlords that need to take people in. Of course, they're skeptical, wondering if they're able to pay the deposit. They're wondering what will happen. Will the place be trashed? But Angie Walker, we saw her with the city, says that no, they take over these spaces because it's something that they have for their own for the first time, and that they help with the security deposit. It's just getting them in the building. Now, something interesting too, Cliff had several appointments during this process. This was about 3 months. Like we said, we met him in June.
Yeah.
He made all of his appointments. He got on the bus. He walked to these appointments. So now what the city is doing is they're getting iPads. They're going out to the people on the streets to do the intake program right there.
Speaking of iPads, if you have one, check out our web channel because we have the whole reaction. You saw part of it. We have the whole thing at WIFR.com.
Yeah, you're not going to want to miss that, too. I wish I could have included all of it. It's just amazing to see, so thank you to everyone who helped.
And great job. Well, Chief Meteorologist Mark Henderson tells us